Alright, we are almost done with the Rex fight. Just one more chap should do it, and about a few more Nikita missiles. Stinger missiles. That bitch. Get the fuck out. I'm already pissed off at you, man. One more should do it. And he freaking got me at the last minute.
Snake! I'll crush you into dust!
Good luck with that. Nothing to it. Just use chaffs. After the chaffs go off, just aim at where you're supposed to aim with the stinger. And he goes down. That was so difficult back in the day for me. And Rex is done for. And we're gonna be greeted with another long cutscene. And there is Liquid still alive. Wearing his skinny jeans. What the hell is he thinking?
Sleeping late as usual. A snake?
Definitely.
Liquid, you're still alive.
I won't die as long as you still live.
Sure.
Too bad. It looks like your revolution was a failure.
Look at him.
Just because
Look
you
at him.
destroyed Metal Gear doesn't mean I am done fighting.
Fighting? What are you really after?
A world where warriors like us are honored as we once were, as we should be.
That was Big Boss's fantasy.
It was his dying wish. When he was young, during the Cold War, the world needed men like us.
Definitely.
We were valued then. We were desired. But things, are different now. With all the lies and hypocrites running the world, war isn't what it used to be. We're losing our place in a world that no longer needs us. A world that now spurns our very existence. You should know that as well as I do. After I launch this weapon and get our $1 billion, we'll be able to bring chaos and honor
do you plan on
back to
launching it
this
with Metal Gear
world
down?
gone soft. Conflict will breed conflict. New hatreds will arise. Then we'll steadily expand our sphere of influence.
Oh, fuck you.
But as long as there are people, there will always be war.
But the problem is balance. Father knew what
war
type
is
of a
never
balance
going
was
away.
best.
Is that the only reason?
We as people are
Isn't it
born to
easy enough
fight.
for warriors such as us?
I don't want that kind of world.
Ha! You lie. So why are you here then? Why do you continue to follow your orders while your superiors betray you? Why did you come here? Well, I'll tell you then. You enjoy all the killing. That's why.
What?
Are you denying it? Haven't you already killed most of my comrades?
That was...
That was self-defense.
I watched your face when you did it. It was filled with the joy of battle.
You're wrong.
There's a killer inside you. You don't have to deny it. We were created to be that way.
Created?
From genes, boy.
Les enfants terribles, the terrible children. That's what the
There is
project
so much
was
about that
called.
Metal Gear 4.
It started in the 1970s. Their plan was to artificially create the most powerful soldier possible. The person that they chose
freaking
as the
hungry
model
right now.
was the man known then as the greatest living soldier in the world.
It is now
But father was wounded in combat and already in a coma when they brought him
September
in.
9th,
So they created us from his cells.
2012.
With a combination of 20th century analog
I haven't had much time
and
to
the super
record
baby
or
mech.
Super baby.
do much of anything
They
since
fertilized an egg with one of Father's
college
cells,
started back
and
up
then
for
let
me,
it divide
and
into 8
I've been
clone
working
babies.
as well.
Then they transferred the clones
So
to someone's
Sunday,
uterus,
right now,
later intentionally aborted 6 of the fetuses
is the
to
only time I
encourage
had to do
strong
something
fetal growth.
like this.
You and I were originally octuplets.
Octuplets?
Yes.
But back to the game story.
The other 6 of our brothers were sacrificed to make us. We were accomplices in murder before the day we were even born. So it was you and I, 2 fertilized eggs with exactly the same DNA. But they weren't finished yet. They used me as a guinea pig to create a phenotype in which all of the dominant genes were expressed to create you. I got all of the recessive genes. You took everything from me before I was even born. But you and I aren't his only children.
What?
The genome soldiers. They too are his progeny, carrying on his genetic
Those
legacy.
generic soldiers?
But they're different. They're digital. With the completion of the Human Genome Project, the mysteries of humanity were laid bare. Thanks to Father's DNA, they were able to identify more than 60 soldier genes responsible for everything from strategic thinking to the proverbial killer instinct.
Okay.
Those soldier genes were transplanted into the members of the next
Old technology
generation
right
special
there.
forces. That's how they became the genome soldiers. That's right. The genome soldiers that you've
They're
been
doing now is
killing
far more
are our
advanced.
brothers with the same genes as ours.
The genome soldiers.
That's right. They are our brothers, created artificially through the alignment of nucleotides to mimic our father's genes. They too are the product of numerous sacrifices.
Sacrifices?
Human experiments! 1991, the Gulf War. The military secretly injected soldiers with the soldier genes. The Gulf War syndrome that hundreds of thousands of returning soldiers complained about was a side effect of it.
Ha! Everyone knows that the Gulf War syndrome was caused by exposure to depleted uranium used in the anti-tank rounds.
That was just a cover story issued by the Pentagon. First, they tried to say it was post-traumatic stress disorder, then chemical or biological weapons. The poison gas detection units and the anti-sarin injections, they were all just a cover-up of the secret genetic experiments.
So then, the so-called Gulf War babies that have been reported by Gulf War veterans are...
Yes, they too are our brothers and sisters.
We don't see so,
So the
we don't see so
genome
many
soldiers mean
sisters
that the
around here.
experiments were a success?
What did kill them to
Success?
put frickin'
Don't be a
female
fool.
soldiers in
They're
games,
a
man?
complete failure.
Merle was the
We
only
are
one
on the
in this whole
verge of
game.
extinction.
What?
What do we have against killing female
Have
soldiers?
you ever heard of the asymmetry
I have
theory?
nothing against it.
Nature tends
Equal
to
treatment
favor
for all.
asymmetry. Those species which have
God
gone
damn.
extinct all show signs of symmetry. The
Military
genome
games need
soldiers
to
suffer
put
from
more
the same
female
problem.
soldiers in those games.
Signs of symmetry.
I would love to play a female
So do
soldier. I would love to kill them in games too.
That's right. We are
Been
all
killing so
on the
many
verge of
males
death
in these
at a
games.
genetic level.
God damn.
We don't know when or what type of disease will occur. That's why we need the old man's genetic information.
You want Big Boss's DNA so you can save your family? It's very touching.
In nature, family members don't mate with each other, and yet they help each other to survive.
Yeah.
Do you know why? It increases the chance that their genes will be passed on to a new generation. Altruism among blood relatives is a response to natural selection. It's called the selfish gene theory.
You're telling me that your
guy's
genes are
smart.
ordering you to save the genome soldiers?
You can't fight your genes. It's fate. All living things are born for the sole purpose
Of
of
passing
passing on
on,
their
yep.
parents' genes. That's why I'll follow what my genes tell me. And then I'm going to go beyond. In order to break the curse of my heritage.
Can we fight now?